Good evening, everyone. My name is Shreya, and I would like to extend a warm welcome to you all, students, friends, and parents, to Namadwaar Singapore's annual exam mass prayer session. You know, we all have heard that phrase, God helps those who help themselves. So we realized that we need to put in the hard work first and foremost and have faith in God. And as a result of that, God will help you. You see, that is the whole purpose of this exam mass prayer session, which emphasizes the importance of hard work and prayer, which both work hand in hand, and these are two that are required to achieve success. With that, I would like to invite Mr. Balasubramanian, President of Namadwaar Singapore, to give the opening address.
At the first instance, what I would like to say is share a few things. Dr. Abdul Kalam, you all know, he says, excellence is not a skill, it is attitude, right? If we have the right attitude towards our education, towards our attempt to perform in the examination, it'll all come through one by one in success. In order to just kickstart our program, let me give you a small story. Very long ago, in 1950s, there used to be a good monastery, Buddhist monastery in Thailand, near Bangkok. So in that monastery, the huge Buddha statue was there. It's very powerful, and whatever prayers put onto the holy feet of Buddha is all fulfilled. Suddenly, this monastery received a letter from the Highways Department of Thailand stating that they have to relocate to another place because there is going to be a highway coming in that area. So they were the head monk and the monks were discussing what to do. And finally, it's a government requirement. It's good for the society and the people to travel on the highway. They decide to oblige and relocate to a new location. So what they want to do is, there is a big, huge Buddha statue, part of the monastery, has to be lifted and relocated. So the monks and the people who can do this lifting had the crane, and then they were trying to lift the Buddha statue from that location. As they were doing in the afternoon, they have been seeing some cracks coming on the statue of the Buddha because it's so heavy and it is being lifted by a crane, you see. Probably the forces and the lifting arrangements are not uniform so that it can be lifted. There's a crack coming up. So they were all worried. Such a lovely Buddha statue, and they are so much affectionate to the Buddha. So they were worried. So the head of the monks said that, look here, let's stop the operation now for a moment. Let me go and pray, and then we come back tomorrow to do that. So then the head monk went there and constantly praying with Buddha somehow to help. Without crack, it should be relocated. So late in the evening, when it is darkened, he was so much worried about how we are going to do it. He just had a chance to find his path, lighted up to reach this Buddha statue. So when he put the torch on Buddha, Lord Buddha, he saw the cracks. Then he suddenly switched off the torch and again relighted. During the short duration, he saw some sparkles coming up, some lights coming up from the cracks. So what happened is that the head monk thought that why this crack? It is so glowing and it is so bright, and it's something like lightning. It's coming out of the crack. So what he did is he went back, called the other monks, and then told them, look here, that's something very interesting with our Buddha statue after the crack. So they went there, and slowly they tried to have a chisel and a hammer. They chiseled a small portion of the crack. The whole shining got broadened slightly. And finally, they started shipping many places. They found that this is very bright. Then the whole night, they took time to remove the complete shipping. And they found that the chipped parts are all clays. And what they've seen inside is Buddha in a beautiful, very nice golden Buddha. Because of the gold color, it was shining so much, and they were quite happy to see that they had really seen a gold Buddha. So then they thought that they will stop it for some time and find an arrangement without any crack or without any scratches, how to lift Buddha. So they all went out, went back to their places, and they were trying to see what can be done. So we stopped the story here and try to see what's the real story, what it gives as a story to us as students who are going to appear for the exam. The clay is the one which is all of us having an ignorance and inability to decide that how strong we are. So inside us, there is a golden Buddha. Inside us, there's a golden strength. And inside us, we have got a tremendous amount of confidence and moral values. So that is not known to us, and it has to be taken out. So if students, you are able to see your inner strength, you are able to realize your inner strength, then you would be in a position to perform very well in the examinations. Comparing the story, the torch from which the light came is the one Nama. The torch is a satsang which encloses the Nama, and the batteries or within the torch are the blessings of the Lord, God, Premika Vardhan and Madhuri Sagi. The torch becomes useful, or it can be lighted only by pressing the button on the torch. So the button is the Guru Maharaj's grace. So if you have the blessings of the Lord, and it is again improved upon and identified by the grace of Guru, and you get a light, that light is Nama. You keep on putting your efforts through the chisel and hammer, that's your own efforts. You need both. You need the light to find out where are the cracks. You need also the chisel and the hammer and your effort in order to take the clay out, or remove the ignorance of not thinking, or take your self-confidence out from your own inner self. The chisel and the hammer are the one which is your planning and scheduling. So what is important for you students, or you should have a proper planning, you should have proper scheduling. Don't get distracted with many other things. And if you do the proper planning and proper scheduling, and always believe there is one Almighty which is always within you, and He is going to help you out. But try to chant Nama more and more, so that the Nama removes all the ignorance, that we don't have the strength, we don't have the confidence. All these things will be fly away, and you will see a real inner strength within you. So that is how you would be in a position to really perform very well. Each one of us has got an excellence within us, and that has to be identified, and for which the Nama chanting would do the internal transformation in order to get it out. So the moral of the story is that we should have a strong belief in God. Faith is more than God. And we should have the following of Guru Maharaj's instructions as to keep chanting Nama, that throws light onto the statue to remove the cracks, to remove the clay part of the holding. Actually, why they did that clay coating is that long back in 1950s, there used to be always a Burmese attack on Thailand, specifically on the monasteries. So in order to protect that, they put the clay so that when the attack comes, they know it's not anything worth, they can take it back to Burma, or now we call Myanmar. So what in our life is also, we think that we cannot perform, but we can perform if we remove the outer shell of our ignorance. That is removed by Nama chanting, that is removed by the blessings of the Maturi Saki and Premika Varadan and Guru Maharaj's grace. So please keep a confidence within you and take the confidence with you to the exams and get prosperity and success in your exams. Thank you very much. Radhe, Radhe.
Thank you, Mama. So now I would like to request all our participants and students to on your cameras, and we'll take a quick snapshot before we continue on. Okay, just give me a moment. Okay, let me take another one. Okay, thank you. Okay. So, when we are learning about hard work, there was this one shloka in Bhagavad Gita that really stood out, and it's an extremely popular one, and I'm sure that many of you would know this, right? So, karmanye vadikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma palaheturbhur ma te sangostva karmani. So Lord Krishna says, while performing various actions, right, do it as an act of God and don't think continuously about the result, so that the action will be more effectively performed. So the action as students, we can relate it to writing our tests or exam and doing our things at home. So whatever actions we do, we need to have the faith and we need to do it. And whatever the result is, we need to accept it graciously. Whether it's something you expected or it's not something you expected, we have to accept it graciously. And Krishna says that whatever fruit, whatever result that is supposed to come to you, it will come to you at the right time. So just have faith and do whatever work you need to do without thinking about the end results. So personally for me, I just finished my bachelor's, so I'm done with university. And even till now, I'm really nervous before writing the exams, right? Especially, I think they give the 5 minutes reading time before the paper. And, when I look at the questions, I'm like, oh no, I forgot everything, or I did not study for this topic. I get panicked and, all these thoughts run wildly in my head. And chanting Nama really does help me. And I've been doing this for a long time since I wrote my PSLE, and what it does is that it helps me to be really calm and focus on the exam, at that moment. And it allows me to connect with God. So it gives me this open-mindedness to focus on the exam itself and nothing else. And it's not just me who feels this way. And this evening, we have students here who will be sharing on how chanting Nama helped them during their exams. And these are all students who have already written their major exams like PSLE, O-levels, A-levels, 10th standard, 12th standard. So let's just hear from them on how Nama helped them as well. So firstly, I would like to invite Sanjana. You can share about your experience.
Hi everyone, I'm Sanjana. I gave my O-level exams last year. The exams that I found particularly difficult was biology. We had quite a lot of chapters to study, even without the CLTs. There was this one topic which I did not study properly, molecular genetics, and I revised the other topics but did not give much attention to this one topic. On the day of the exam, we had biology paper 2 first. When I looked at the questions, I froze. A large portion of the questions were about molecular genetics, the one chapter that I had not done properly. I remembered stopping and chanting Nama a few times. I only had a superficial understanding of this topic, and I definitely did not expect the whole of paper 2, worth 60 marks, to be mostly molecular genetics. I scrambled to remember everything I knew about the topic, and I wrote my answers the best I could. I was pretty depressed about how it went, and I remember crying about it to my friends. They consoled and reminded me that I still had paper one to bring my marks up. Thankfully, paper one had a wider range of topics, and it was not as hard. After the O levels, I remember having nightmares of failing biology, and one bad grade could really bring down my entire overall grade, and that would impact my chances of getting into a decent school. After an excruciatingly long wait, I finally got my O level results, and I was surprised to find that I did not do so badly. I got a B3. I felt a surge of gratitude towards Lord Krishna and my Guruji, His Holiness Sri Sri Muralidhara Swamiji, and I thanked them for helping me do well. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjana. So next we have Vishwesh.
Okay, hey guys, I'm Vishwesh. I'm studying in year one in JC. I'm currently studying in this college called Victoria Junior College. And previously, I studied in Victoria Secondary School under the IP program. So today, I'll be talking to you all about how Nama helped me in two aspects. One was it instilled me with confidence. So right, for anyone studying in this syllabus, right, y'all will know how complicated like the test papers are. The test papers will be like John had 3 apples, Adam had 4 apples. So what's the circumference of the sun? So like when tests are so hard, right, we will normally try to like study a lot for these tests. So like normally I'm a very anxious person. I'm not confident at all. And especially during exams, right, before entering the room, I'll have so many doubts on everything that I didn't study for. And then when I sit for the paper, I'll be like so stressed. My hands will be like shaking. Then the only thing I can do then before like starting the paper is to chant Nama. This helps me to like get a bit of confidence. It like reassures me that, okay, I had prepared well for this exam. I can do it. And then because I have like all my thoughts recollected, I can like perform better for the test normally. Another way Nama helps me is that, as I said before, it helps me to recollect my thoughts. So I'm a procrastinator. I normally do my revisions for tests like 1 week before the exam. This is a very, very bad thing to do. And the very, very bad thing about this is that there's so much stress that accumulates over the week. And you have to do so much in that 1 week, especially if it's your final exams. So this happened to me in year 3, in like Sec 3, where my end of year exam, there was 2 months left to the exam. And I was like, oh wait, there's still 2 months left. So I'll study later. 1 month and I had the same thing again. 2 weeks and I still had the same opinion that, oh wait, there's still 2 weeks. I can still do this. And then 1 week came and I was like, oh no, I looked at my table and I had like a pile of work to do. And I was like, how am I going to complete this in 1 week? Plus, I had so many thoughts running in my head like, oh my gosh, what are my parents going to think about after I get such bad grades? Oh my gosh, what am I going to do now? The only thing I could do here also now was to chant Nama. And by chanting Nama, right, all these external thoughts basically left my mind. I was like, you know what? I've made a mistake. But now let me rectify this mistake. I still have some time to salvage. And I started studying I started doing my revision reverently. And this led me to do quite well for my end of years. Point to note, do not use this method. Always study beforehand so that you do not accumulate as much stress as I did. But anyways, what I wanted to say is, right, Nama actually instilled me with a lot of confidence and helps me to recollect my thoughts before my exams. Now I'll be passing on my turn to the next person. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishwesh. Akshita will be next to share her experience.
Radhe Radhe. My name is Akshita, and I'm a secondary 3 student in Greenridge Secondary School. Nama has like helped me in many aspects, but one of the main aspects that it helped me was my studies. When I was in P6, I was actually a really playful child. Like I didn't really bother studying, and I didn't really care much for my studies, and I didn't think PSW was something really important. And then during my prelim examination, I didn't study for it. So I went there, and after I finished my examination, I got my marks. I realized I did horribly for my aggregate for my prelim itself. My prelim was super bad, and I think that's when it hit me that, oh God, my PSW is gonna come in like around 2 months, and I really do have to pull my things together and study hard. But I knew that studying hard isn't the only way I can do well for it. And I knew that, okay, I have to say more Nama as well, because given the small period of time I had before my actual exam, for which I didn't even study at all before, I knew that I had to start saying Nama at the same time work really hard. I think P6 wasn't the only time I started studying more, but it was also the time where I got more spiritually connected to my Guruji, Sri Sri Muridhara Swamiji. Uh, After I got my PSLE results, I wasn't really happy about it, but I could see that there was a huge difference between my marks that I got in prelim and the marks I got in PSLE. And even though I wasn't really happy about the mark I got, I was proud of myself for improving in my marks. And more than my marks, to be honest, I think my attitude towards learning really changed. And I owe it mostly to Guruji and Nama. So right now I'm in secondary 3 and I'm taking my pure science, and I am happy where I am right now. And I feel like I have learned to put a lot of hard work. I've also learned that not everything just comes for free, that you really have to work for it. But together with Guruji's grace and together with God's grace, I think you can do really, really well. Like you can be successful. And next year I'm going to write an O-level examination, and I am scared, but at the same time, I'm excited as well. But even till now, before any examination, I make sure to say Nama at least 3 times. Like my friends beside me would be seeing, like, could see me praying and stuff. And even though I can't prove that it does help all the time, but I can say that it gives me the concentration and confidence in myself to write the examination, and it calms me down before I write the examination. And I think I am really happy that Nama has helped me throughout, and I will continue to say Nama because it helped me a lot, and I hope it will help you guys too. Thank you.
Thank you, Akshita. Next, we have Raga.
Radhe Radhe. My name is Raga and I'm currently in Sec 1. I attended the exam mass prayer last year and it helped me so much. So here I am attending it this year as well. As an ex-PSLE student, I did have some difficulties coping with time and studying last year for my PSLE. It all seemed very hard at first, and that's when I was introduced to this initiative by Namadwaar, the exam mass prayer. At first, I thought it was just a program where we do prayers to do well in our exams. But only after I attended the workshop, I truly understood the purpose of it and gained much benefit from the program. We not only learned about the advantages of chanting Nama, but also learned many other interesting things and information which all in all motivated me and encouraged me to do well in my exam. After the workshop, I began chanting the Nama in the method it was taught on a daily basis for about 5 to 7 minutes whenever I found the time. It is not necessary for you to chant the Nama at a specific time or on a specific day. You can chant the Nama whenever you want for the divine rays of the Lord. I usually feel nervous before writing my exams, and even before my preliminary examinations, I actually was very scared and nervous the day before. But after I attended the exam mass prayer workshop last year, and because I always chanted the Nama, I felt more calmer and less nervous for my PSLE. Due to this outcome, I learned how Nama chanting actually has a very calming effect and makes my day more productive. To this day, I still chant the Nama and will continue to do so. I hope you too do the same and enjoy the exam mass prayer today. Lastly, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts and feelings on Nama chanting. Thank you. Radhe Radhe.
Thanks, Raga. Next, we have Devash.
Hello all, Radhe Radhe. I am Ranganath Devash and I'm currently studying in Temasek Secondary School. I was previously from Casuarina Primary School. I am here to tell all the primary 6 students and all students taking an exam this year. I am also here to tell the benefits of this mass prayer that is held by Namadwaar. Firstly, the mass prayer involves many people from Singapore chanting for 15 minutes together. This is very beneficial for everyone because when you can feel that others are praying for us and that instills motivation within us. When I did the chanting last year, during the mass prayer, I felt calm and relaxed without the intense stress that was usually bottled inside me. Although I did not feel much to do this initially, I slowly felt that the feel of calmness would stay inside me for days. PSLE is a very big exam that takes a toll on of the mental health of many primary 6 students. The stress that is trapped inside them will result in them being less productive and less active. They will also seem to be gloomy all the time and won't have any sort of fun to relieve their stress. Being calm is the main factor in someone passing the exam with flying colors. The last thing you want is to sit in the exam and forget everything that you studied. No matter how hard you study, if you're not calm, you will forget what you studied easily. But if you're calm and study for just only a few hours, you may not have such a hard time during the exam. So if I would highly recommend to chant the Nama chanting for at least 10 minutes a day to keep that calmness in your mind. Before I conclude my sharing with all the students taking the exam this year, I would like to thank Namadwaar, who made this possible for me to share my advice to my juniors on what to do during this stressful period. Thanks and all the very best.
Thank you, Devesh. Next, we'll have Shrish.
Radhe Radhe. Chanting Nama brings many benefits, and I'm going to share my own personal experience. Last year I was P6 and I was sitting for PSLE. I was very compulsive last year, and when I was studying, I would always stop every few minutes to play games and check my WhatsApp and all of this. And my parents who were working from home, they noted this and they encouraged me to chant more often and would sit for me for 20 minutes every day to chant Nama with me for 216 times. I did this for about 4 months last year, and I attended the mass prayer also, and I started to see the benefit of chanting. My mind was more calm and I didn't stop studying to play games that often. I felt more focused and confident on myself. I also felt no urge to check my social platforms and waste time. My mind was also more focused towards studies and I began to see the fruit of my chanting. And after experiences, I began to chant more frequently and pray more so as to score well for PSLE. And on the day of the exam, I felt very nervous and I couldn't sit still. But about 5 minutes before the exam started, I chanted Nama within myself for about a minute to calm myself down and regain focus on what was important. I did this for all the tests and I immediately felt at peace. And I listened to my parents and I imagined Rama in my head and Krishna standing there also. And I prayed the Nama for about a minute. And after praying to them, I started the exam. And then I continued chanting and prayed for good marks after I finished the exam. And finally, I saw the fruit of all of it when I got back on marks. I had done very well, and through all of this, I saw the importance and greatness of Ramanama. And I had experienced the fruit of it all at the end of the year, and I managed to secure an admission into a good school. And that's what also encourage all of us to chant whenever they feel restless, nervous, or anxious. This is because Ramanama helps to calm our mind and helps us to focus. I would also encourage students to keep it as a practice to chant for about a minute before starting your test. This will help to calm your mind and help you focus on the exam. Even now, I keep up the practice and never fail to chant 216 times every day. It is not possible to see the fruit of Ramanama immediately. You have to do it regularly for a few months before you experience a good outcome. And Ramanama has helped me, and I'll strongly encourage everyone to do it. Finally, before I conclude my sharing, I would like to thank Namadwaar for giving me this opportunity to share my experience with Ramanama. Radhe Radhe, thank you.
Thank you, Suresh. Next, we have Aishwarya.
Radhe Radhe, I am Aishwarya and I recently wrote my PSLE. Today, I am here to talk about how Nama chanting helped me during my PSLE. I have been attending GK classes for 2 years where I learnt about Nama chanting. My family and I regularly participate in Namadwaar Singapore's Akshita Nama and daily e-satsang. Last year, I participated in the exam mass prayer and it helped me, and that's why I am here to talk about my experience. During my PSLE preparation, I was nervous and stressed. When I couldn't handle my stress, I chanted the Maha Mantra and it gave me the faith in myself. It also encouraged me to do more practice papers and it motivated me. I felt like God is with me and He will help me, and I can do my best I can do my best during my PSLE. During the exam itself, chanting Maha Mantra helped me to feel calm and allowed me to focus on the exam. Because of this, I'm regularly chanting the Maha Mantra, and it makes me feel better. Before I end my conclusion, I would like to thank Namadwaar Singapore for giving me this opportunity, and all the best to all the students, and don't worry about anything because God is always with you. Thank you. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Aishwarya. So finally, we have Rohit. His audio will be played for us all.
Radhe Radhe to everyone. My name is Rohit and I'm second this year. I'll be attending Gopakutiram classes for 4 years. Last year, when I was in primary 6 and had my PSL in a few weeks' time, my Gopakutiram teacher asked me to join this mass prayer where we will be chanting the Hare Rama Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So I joined this event hoping that this will boost my confidence and my will to do well for PSL. The chanting of the Maha Mantra and the well-crafted stories inspired me a lot. Not only did this event help me in terms of coping with PSL stress, but it totally changed my approach in a lot of things. I was shocked that normal objects or things in life can make a great impact on us. This program was wonderfully helpful and undeniably a stress buster for me, as primary 6 can be a stressful year with PSL. This program also motivated me to chant the Maha Mantra every day without fail. I could also say that this program helped me to do well for PSL. I also hope that all of you who are all sitting and attending PSL this year will also have a great impact for PSLE after attending this program, and I wish you all good luck for PSLE. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for sharing. So we all have listened to our friends sharing their experience. Now let us move on to the exciting segment. Introducing Sanjana. She just shared her experience with us all. She's one of the youth members of Namadwaar Singapore, and she has taken this beautiful initiative to do a motivational PPT for us all. Sanjana, take it away.
Hi everyone, it's me Sanjana. I would like to thank Namadwaar for giving me this opportunity. I feel very happy to see you all today, and I'm excited to be sharing a very inspiring story. Each of you are here because your exams are coming soon and you want to do your best. As exams come nearer, you might be feeling worried or stressed. I understand that feeling of nervous anticipation mixed with excitement. I understand that feeling of being unsure of my preparation. Your friends and your family would be trying to motivate you, get you to work harder. Let me share with you a beautiful story. A story filled with determination and perseverance of a little frog. This story inspired me, and I hope it'll inspire you as well. Once upon a time, there was a little frog. He lived with his friends in a well, with plenty of food and water. They lived happily, eating, playing, and having a good time together. As the seasons changed, summer arrived and brought with it plenty of sun. It was so scorching hot that the water level started to reduce. At first, the frogs didn't care much about it. But later on, when the water level kept dropping, fear started to grip them. The water was half the level it used to be. The frogs were scared that the well would dry up soon and they would all die. So they discussed among themselves for a solution. They thought they should somehow escape out of the well. They all started to jump, trying their best to get out of the well. But the wall of the well was too high. After multiple attempts, they all got tired and felt discouraged. They thought there was no way out for them. However, one frog kept trying again and again. The other frogs tried to talk some sense into him, saying that the water level is getting lower day by day and the wall was getting higher and higher. There was no way for them to escape. Undeterred, he kept trying. He jumped, and suddenly he made it out. And just when his friends thought that he wasn't going to come back, he came back with the rope to help the others out. One by one, everyone made it out. The frog not only saved himself, but he saved all of his friends too. Despite all the discouragement, how was the frog able to jump out? He was deaf. He thought his friends were cheering him on, and so he kept trying and trying until he succeeded. He turned a deaf ear to all the negativity, and he took adversity in his stride. So what can we learn from this frog? He was single-pointed in his intent to achieve his goal, that is getting out of the well. He was deaf to discouragement. His outlook was so positive that when he saw his friends talking, he assumed that they were cheering him on. And lastly, he believed in himself. If you believe in yourself, just like that frog, you can jump over any wall. You can achieve anything. This is because the recipe for success is a lot of perspiration, a sprinkle of inspiration, and a dash of divine intervention. Sincere efforts and earnest prayers would pave the road to success. And lastly, I would like to end off on a quote by someone you probably know by now. If you can dream it, you can do it. The frog who saved everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjana. You beautifully brought out the values and lessons learned through the story of the frog. So I hope you all learned the important lessons that were imparted through the story. Now we will all chant the Maha Mantra guided by Mr. Balasubramanian, and we will be chanting together for 11 times. Following this, we will have the 6, 3, 2 and 1 minute mass prayer conducted by Sri Ramanna, live from Namadwaar, Singapore.
Radhe Radhe to everyone. As Shreya said, we start the loud chanting 6 times, then with a small pause, then we do it 3 times with a murmuring and with a pause, then 2 times internally in the mind, then make the prayer. We start this and you can follow me in the unmute mode. Radhe Radhe. Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Now, 3 times murmuring. The difference is when we shout, when we really, with a loud voice, make the prayer, we are trying to absorb the nama slowly. By murmuring, this is the transition between the loud chanting and the internal prayer, internal nama chanting. That's a transition. So we are going to have the transition for 3 times nama chanting now with murmuring. Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. A small pause now, then 2 times in the mind. With the blissful experience of chanting Nama as of now, we do the prayer with faith, confidence, and reliance on Nama and reliance of Guru Maharaj's blessing and the grace of Almighty. Now we start the prayer, please. Radhe Radhe. You would have felt the calmness in the mind. You would have felt very less thoughts in the mind. You would have felt the whole body and nerve stream is quite relaxed. This is the reason we have to chant Nama in order to get ourselves a calmness in approaching our schedules and approaching our priorities and studying, and automatically you will start recollecting whatever need to be recollected at the time of exams. Radhe Radhe, all the best students. Now I hand over to Sri Ramji.
Radhe Radhe. All our prayers have been submitted to the lotus feet of Madhuri Sakhi Sameda Premikar Thakurji, who is our presiding deity in Namadwaar, and especially the prayers of the students who are facing a major examinations, and without fear and with confidence, with more confidence, will pray to Lord Almighty that they would see their examinations and come out with the flying colors, and will again pray to the lotus feet of Bhagavan that everyone should do their exams very well. Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe, Shreyaji.
Radhe Radhe. Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Radhe Radhe Shreya, before you start Hare Rama, just wanted to inform if the students can pass on your name and the date of exams to Shreya, we'll convey this to Sri Ramji to make a special archana on the days the students are going to do the exam with their name to Premika Varadan Madhuri Sagi and Guru Patka, in order to see that they come out very well, successfully, with confidence and clarity. Shall we do this, Shreya Banuji?
Sure, Mama. So,
Okay.
Students, you can pass on the examination dates to your respective GK teachers or point of contact, and they'll get back to me. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Shreya, 1 second.
Sure, Mama.
The students will get a very sweet results like the laddus you have seen the screen a minute ago. Once you have the faith and prayer put together with your efforts, it will happen. We will all pray from Namadwaar for the success of the students here. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. So now moving on to the last segment of today's program, the feedback session. So we have many students with us today who will be taking their major exams soon in a few months' time. And I would like to call on a few of these students to give feedback and the takeaways they learned from today's session. So first we have Akshita.
Radhe Radhe everyone. I'm Akshita and I'm in grade 10. This year, I'll be writing my board exams for the first time. I'm a little nervous as grade 10 board exam is not the same as a normal semester exam. But it is one of the turning points for choosing both my further studies and career. Usually, during my semester exams, I feel some stress and anxiety, and especially when I'm having my exam paper, I get very nervous. But I realized after I started chanting Nama every day and right before every exam, all my stress and nervousness just flies away. Chanting Nama made me feel relaxed and less anxious, especially during exams. It also built my memory power and confidence level. And so I still chant Nama every day, and I'm confident that it will help me for my board exams and in other things too. Truly hardworking and faith together is important. So I recommend all students to chant Nama every day as it really helps. Thank you and Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Akshita. Now passing on to Sriniket.
Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. So every day I actually chant Nama in the morning. Oh, sorry. Okay. So every day I actually chant Nama in the morning. I chant around 216 Nama every morning. And before exams, I chant Nama also before I start my exam. And whenever I'm bored, whenever I'm coming home from school, I also chant Nama. And actually what I gain from chanting Nama is actually I managed to gain focus, because as a student, usually before I study for my exams, I kind of get distracted by other things. Let's say my friends are talking on WhatsApp, then I will also go on to WhatsApp and also check the messages, and then I tend to get distracted. But from chanting Nama, I actually found out that I'm able to focus on the subject I'm studying and not get distracted by other things and get sidetracked. And I think, like some students mentioned earlier, distraction is a big issue for our students. So I think by chanting Nama, it actually really helped me. And through the mass prayer sessions itself, it really helped me to focus on studying for the exams. And the other thing that the mass prayer sessions help me is to have some intuition. So I think I feel very confident when I go to write Nama go to the exams after chanting Nama. And the sense of confidence allows me to have some sort of an intuition when I take a question. And let's say the question, I'm not sure of the answer, but I have some kind of intuition as to what the answer could be, and I'm able to logically reason it out. So these are some of the gains I'm able to experience through Nama and Nama chanting and through the prayer sessions. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Sriniket. Just to inform you all, he's in his second year of JC, so JC2. Now moving on to Naren.
Hello everyone, I'm Naren. I'm studying in my final year of IB. This is probably the most influential exam I'm going to write now on my future. I haven't had any major exams because COVID canceled my boards last year, and this one it's more of a mock, but it helps me with predicted grades, which allows me to get into universities. Obviously, I remember back in 7th grade, I didn't take my studies seriously. I procrastinated a lot, and I crammed everything in the last 2 days, which is not good. But maybe 2 minutes or 5 minutes before the exam, you might see me to be the most ardent devotee of Krishna you've ever seen. I just close my eyes, say Nama, and anything that will get me a miracle somehow. Obviously, that's not how it works. As Shreya said earlier, God helps those that help themselves. And of course, I've grown up, and now I've got I come to exams prepared. But the habit stuck with me for so long, mainly because it keeps me focused, and I never make any silly mistakes anymore. It's really helpful. I feel one more thing that Nama does for me is provides me assurance, and that's exactly what I got today from the mass prayer. I have full confidence in my ability. I know I can do it, but it's still great to have the assurance that I have God behind me. I have people who are praying for me as well, and it's always great to carry that kind of confidence into the exam. I don't really feel nervous going into exams, even if it's really important. But it really helps the sort of confidence, and of course, when you have that backing of confidence, the feeling that you're not alone, it helps in many other areas as well. So, yeah, thank you, for holding this mass prayer.
Thanks, Naren. Next, Darshana.
Radhe Radhe, I'm Darshana and I am taking O levels in almost 1 month time. I have 40 days left for O levels. So I feel a bit scared when I go to exams and I feel stressed. But then during the last 1 or 2 minutes of time after we've written the names and then you're waiting for the exam to start, I will chant Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. I will chant Nama and it will usually calm me down and I feel more relaxed and more ready to take on the exam because when I chant Nama, I feel like all my attention is only focused on one thing, the exam, and it is all the positive energies that is actually developing within me. So I feel very positive about the exam, and I feel very excited to actually do this exam and see what result I will get. So I feel calm down, and I feel more ready to take on the exam. Also, there's this one incident that recently happened to me. I just finished my preliminary exams a week ago. So during my maths exam, I was actually trying to figure out the answer for one question. It was something that I had to figure out. It was like a diagram given. I had to figure out some angle, something like that. So I was trying to figure it out, but I could not get it right. And also the question subsequently affected other questions, other sub questions for that whole question because it has the sub parts, marks and everything. So I was quite scared of if I wouldn't do. Then I immediately thought of Lord Krishna and I started chanting Nama inside my head. Just within a few seconds of chanting Nama, I could get the answer to that particular question. So I really felt so thankful to Lord Krishna and I felt so happy. So I really love to chant Nama. I always chant Nama. I've tried to chant Nama like daily. I've been starting to do that. So I feel more relaxed. And when I study, I feel like when I chant Nama, my focus is only on studies. So I'm somewhat able to curb my distractions and really focus on studies when I think about Lord Krishna, when I chant Nama. This is my first time coming for the mass prayer and I really felt so good coming for the mass prayer because it was really a very nice thing. I felt like I could communicate with God and it was a very nice experience. So, Radhe Radhe.
Thanks, Darshana. Next, we have Shalini.
Radhe Radhe, my name is Shalini and I'm studying in class 10. Last year, I participated in exam mass prayer. It was so interesting. So I'm participating this year as well. During GK classes, we are taught Maha Mantra. But during this exam mass prayer, I learned how to chant Nama. It helps me with school and exams. Before my exam or class test, I always chant Nama. It boosts my confidence level and helps me feel fearless while writing the exam. Usually before an exam, I am always nervous, but chanting Nama makes me feel calm. Since I'm in class 10 and I'll be having a board exams, I feel confident that chanting Maha Mantra this way will help me remember all that I've studied. I am very thankful for this session and thank you for giving me this platform to share my thoughts. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, Shalini. Next, we have Meghna.
Radhe Radhe everyone. I'm going to share one of my experience in exams. So this was during my P6 prelims maths exam. I was doing the last few questions of the paper and the questions seemed very hard and I didn't know how to solve them. I felt very stressed during that point in time. On the other hand, time was also ticking and I couldn't focus on the questions. That's when I decided to just close my eyes and chant Nama. I chanted about 11 times and when I opened my eyes, I felt much more relaxed and I was able to attempt all the questions with a calm mind. Then I realized the true meaning of what Sri Muralidhara Swamiji used to say. When you're in tension, you need to pay attention to Maha Mantra. Today's session really helped me and I especially enjoyed the frog story. I understood that I have to get rid of all my distractions and fully focus on my studies. And what would help me do that is chanting Nama. Along with hard work, I also understood that along with hard work and perseverance, Nama also plays a part in our success. Radhe Radhe.
Thanks, Meghana. Next, we have Sai Charan.
Radhe Radhe everyone, I am Sai Charan. I am attending my PSLE this year. I'm going to share my experience with this mass prayer. This is my first time attending this prayer, and I feel that it has given me a lot of motivation and confidence on how to cope with the nervousness I face every time I attend an exam. During my prelims, I actually I was faced with a very hard science question, and I had a lot of questions and nervousness building up inside of me. And I know that from now, after this is my first time attending this workshop, and I've learned that saying Nama will actually calm me down. And in a way, it helps me think of nothing else except for the Nama itself. My mind basically goes blank, no thoughts come up. So I find it very calm and composing for me. I have attended GK Gopakutiram for at least 7 years for now. And I'm really thinking that Nama is very beneficial, and I'm deciding to take it up from now on, because I haven't really gone deep into saying Nama every day and stuff like that. So from now on, I feel that if I say Nama and take it up as something I can do every day, it will really help me in my upcoming exam, especially PSLE, where the anxiousness will actually be very pressurizing. And sometimes, you can't even think at all because it will be overwhelming. The anxiousness is like giving you a block in your mind, basically, especially during one of my most toughest papers, which is science. So I find this Nama session very benefiting, and like Balasubramanian ji just told us that we will actually be able to chisel the clay, which is and then find the gold inside of us, which is our main confidence. And this is one way to actually boost my confidence, I think. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you so much. Moving on to Mukesh.
Radhe Radhe everyone. I really learned a lot from this exam mass pair session. I realized that with God beside us and with determination, we can achieve anything in life. Although I'm quite nervous about writing my PSLE in a few weeks' time, I'm sure that with chanting the Ramanama, I can really pass my examinations with flying colors. After the mass prayer session, I feel really calm and relaxed. I also learned a lot and enjoyed the frog story. Now I am more determined and to study more and harder to prepare for my exams. By just chanting Hare Rama before the exam, we can really do well for it. It was really a good experience for me. I learned a lot from this session, and I am sure that all of you will also pass your examinations with flying colors. All the best, and Radhe Radhe.
Thank you. Next, we have Ritika.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ritika. I love chanting Nama as it builds my confidence. Before I do my exam, I always chant Nama as it removes my fear. I will continue chanting Nama always. I wanted to wish everyone all the best for their exams. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Thank you.
Thank you, Ritika. Next, we have Vibhaditi. She's actually the youngest of the lot and was very enthusiastic and wanted to share her experience as well. Vibhaditi.
Hello, everyone. I'm actually going to write this exam, AAIS exam. It's for me to, it's for me to go to the local school. It's not very easy to go to the local school because I have to study for months and then pass that exam. If I don't pass it, then all happen is I'll have to write it again, and I don't want that to happen. Because if I do once and another time, I don't need to suffer. And recently I had my diagnostic test as a practice test before my AIS exam. My mom asked me to at least get over 90. I was quite scared because I was just not so I didn't study more, and I just revised through not so much, and then I was like, it's okay, I'm going to do fine. But then what happened was, during the test I was nervous. I was like biting my nails. Oh my gosh, what is this? And I was not so sure what am I going to get as a result. And that day I was really nervous, and then I was chanting the Nama 2 minutes before my test, and then my teacher was like, yes, I on the timer, now we can start. As soon as I started, I was like I was shivering to write the test. And then later, after I knew that I chanted the Nama, I was like calm, and I was like ready to take the test, and I had a positive energy into me. And then since then I knew that chanting Namas actually benefits me. And also this is my first time taking up this exam prayer session. And I think what they explained has also reminded me that I have to do well for my exam. And thank you.
Thank you. So firstly, I would like to thank you all for sharing your feedback, and I would like to apologize. We've run a bit off the time limit that we had previously set. So we'll try to wrap up everything by 6:15. So if anyone else of you would like to share your feedback or thoughts, you can do so now. Okay, so we have come to the end of our program. So before we leave, I just wanted to let you all know that what we can learn from this is God always helps us whenever we are in dire need of it. So, just have faith in God and move ahead in life with confidence and gratitude, knowing that God is always there for us as long as we put in our own efforts and plant our own seeds. Once again, thank you all for coming for this exam mass prayer, and best wishes to you all students on behalf of Namadwaar Singapore. Thank you and Radhe Radhe.